This week we struggled. Yes, we ended in profit, but with the chances we had, it's hard not to feel a little bit disappointed. Still, here's the part that matters. Even in a week like this, we didn't lose. We still came out ahead. And when you step back and look at the bigger goal, that's what really counts. We are here to outperform the 10% annual return we'd expect if this money were sitting in stocks or real estate. And the reality is, even with a frustrating week, we're sitting at an 89% ROI in just 2 weeks, already far beyond what traditional investments deliver in an entire year. I'm Christopher Scott, owner and founder of Be a Pro Sports Betting Academy. I've been a professional sports bettor here in Las Vegas for over 20 years. My goal for this channel is to take you from casual sports fan to savvy sports investor. Inside my academy, I show you how to use sports investing to beat your annual returns in stocks and real estate. If you're ready to find out how, click the link below or head to beaprosportsbetting.com. This week showed just how close we were to a huge weekend. 4 teams lost by a combined 11 points. Games that could have completely flipped the outcome. Oregon State was driving late, down 2, needing only a field goal to win with the ball. Then came a pick 6 on the final play, turning a comeback chance into a 9-point loss. Florida gave up an 89-yard drive at home to USF and lost by 2. Iowa lost by 3 to in-state rival Iowa State. And Virginia had the ball on NC State's 12-yard line first down, but their quarterback forced a throw and was picked off in the end zone. That's 4 heartbreakers, all of them changing the picture for us.
So here is a breakdown of the results for week 2. We had some really tough breaks, and I'm going to go through and show you not all of the tickets, but some of the tickets. We missed out really because of 4 teams losing by that combined 11 points. So we started the week 2 with 1884. So we ended up with a balance of 1917. So a profit, although very small, but a profit nonetheless of $33. So I'm going to go through and show you mostly losing tickets here because since it wasn't a great week, I really want you to see what it's like to go through having a tough week like this one and how close we were to having a week that could have even doubled or tripled our ROI from week 1 of 88%. So let's start taking a look at the slides here. So this ticket I put in for the Virginia Cavaliers as they were in game and they were driving, trailing, and they needed a touchdown. They were trailing by 4 to win the game. So I got them at plus 350 on the money line. And they drove it all the way down to the NC State 12-yard line, had it first down from there. So plenty of time to find creative ways to get into the end zone, but for some reason on first down, Chandler Morris, who is a talented quarterback, made a mistake. And I guarantee you that he would want this one back, but he kind of rolled out to his right. It was man-to-man coverage, and he had a guy along the sideline that he was thinking about maybe hitting in the corner, but he wasn't sure. But he kind of forced it and unfortunately threw an interception in the end zone, and that ended the chances for Virginia as they were out of timeouts. He would have paid $332, so a $95 bet to pay $332 where your coin flip to win. I'll take that all day. We'll take a look at the ones that I won. I'm not going to go through these in detail, but just to give you an idea of what we were looking at, these are 4 of the 5 winners. But like I said, I really want to concentrate on what could have been. because, like I said, even though we were profitable, definitely could have had a very big week. So we'll take a look at this ticket here. And first thing you'll notice is that we only had 2 losers. So the Florida Gators right here and Kansas State. Now, Florida was the one that really, really hurt me because they had USF at home. This is a game they needed to win because their next 5 is a gauntlet. So they needed to get through this. And especially after the big win USF had over Boise State, where they just knocked them around, I really thought that the athletic body types that Florida had were bigger, stronger, more athletic guys than Boise State had. And the quarterback for USF was not going to be able to bowl them over like he did Boise State. So I really liked this matchup, especially just being on the money line. But unfortunately, that last drive where they let them drive 89 yards on their home field in the swamp to lose by a field goal. And that one, as you're going to see in the tickets coming up, really crushed us. We've got a $40 bet, and that would have paid $375 had Florida taken care of business. And then Kansas State, this was listed by many as the team that was supposed to be the winner of the Big 12. I had on the money line to beat an Army team that was going on the road, a game K-State needed to win after losing to Iowa State. So Kansas State was at home. This is kind of a statement game. Army had to play their backup quarterback. So Kansas State just did not step up to the challenge. Also losing very late in that game, a game they controlled most of the game. So, those kind of things happen. So we'll move on to the next slide here. Kind of the same thing. We lost Florida and we lost K-State. So kind of a mirror image. So we bet $95, had those 2 taking care of business just on the money line, not even the spread. We would have gotten a payout of $195. So taking a look at this ticket here, same thing, Florida. And then I took a stab at Western Kentucky to throw the ball around at Toledo. They didn't end up doing that. But again, you look at the wager for $40, that would have paid $119. Again, you'll see those same 2 culprits, Kansas State and Florida, with everybody else winning. And this was kind of the common theme. I really counted on those guys. Look at this, the odds, plus 1198. And all I had to do was have a 17.5 point favorite, and I think it was an 18-point favorite, win outright to have an 1198 odds. So again, we were in great shape. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. That's part of sports betting. Move on to the next slip. The same culprits here. Florida, Kansas State. You get the idea. Next ticket here, same 2 culprits. The $20 bet would have been $247 payout. Another bet here, same culprits. Florida and Kansas State, the only teams to lose. Here's another one, Florida, Kansas State, the only 2 losers. Everybody else took care of business. And that was a $189 ticket. I would have paid $345. So clearly I was very invested in these teams. Had I gone back, perhaps I wouldn't have put so much leverage into them. But at the same time, I really liked the matchups. I liked the spots they were in. It just didn't work out. This one you can see, Florida is the only loser. Same thing on this one. And this was a $200 wager, so that hurt us to win $182. I got this minus 400 in game, and actually right at that point, they ended up taking the lead, which was a lead I thought they would hold because they were just shutting USF down the entire game. Here's Oregon State. I had them at plus 420. So that $20 bet, had they pulled this out, would have paid $201. We ended up with a positive week. You're not going to have an 88% return on investment every week, but frankly, had 4 teams not lost by a combined 11 points, that could have been easily a $2,000 or $2,500 day. Unfortunate, but I wanted to go through and show you the losses because those are just important to learn from.
But here's the key. Even with all that going against us, we still finished in profit. That's the strength of the system I teach in my academy. Bottom line, 21 losses, just 5 wins, yet still we profited. That's what bankroll management and strategy allow you to do. And after 2 weeks, our total return on investment sits at 89%. That's something most investors would wait nearly a decade to see in stocks or real estate. So yes, $33 doesn't feel exciting on its own. But when you zoom out, the bigger picture tells the story. Because our long-term goal isn't about chasing massive wins week after week. It's about putting our bankroll in the best position possible to consistently outperform traditional investments. And the truth is, even after a frustrating week, we're still at 89% ROI in just 2 weeks. That's what sports investing is all about. We'll regroup, keep perspective, and get ready for week 3. If you're ready to stop gambling on sports and start investing in them, click the link below or go to beaprosportsbetting.com. That's where you can work with me directly and learn how to use sports investing strategies to beat your annual returns in stocks and real estate. Don't watch sports for free. Get paid for watching them.